So let's turn to that. So there's sort of two competing views of how you actually make progress. One is you just keep building on the instant payment systems, then you link them together maybe through project, like the BIS serving a role as the hub. But the other one is sort of a totally different one, which is the sort of the Finternet view, which we're just going to leave this all behind, and we're going to go to tokenization on a global basis. But that one sounds really great. But how do you think it's?
I think.
Do you think it's viable?
I think why not? I mean, who would imagine internet would exist? If you ask somebody to know how internet was developed, would have never imagined that it actually got done. So let's say internet. Let's make it more simple. What Finternet is saying that there are 3 layers of architecture. There's a base layer, which is exchanging messages, and then transactions are happening. What Finternet is trying to do, it can create a new base layer, which will allow all this token asset to move across to point. On top, I think what really the missing is the set of the three stack. In Singapore, we have launched something called GL1. GL1 talks about all the compliance-related exchanges happens when two people transfer their tokens. Then we have to think about the application layer, where the actual asset is in a tokenized form. Finternet plus GL1 plus all the use case which Mahat talked about, if you bring all this together, it is a real solution now. The challenge we have today is that not many people understand it. Second, we got to figure out a lot of money where to get to put behind this.
To put the investment.
Yeah, put the investment, because it's not trivial. It needs billions of dollars to make it work. And we cannot take another state subsidy and build this. It happened for payment system, the domestic payment system. It needs substantial capital investment to make it work. And the third aspect is it needs a very new policy framework, which I think regulators are working through different projects of BIS and all these things. I think if we can get it there, it's a real possibility to make it work.
So if I can qualify the Finternet, and this was a vision that our GM put out 2 or 3 months ago, it is a vision for a future financial market infrastructure using tokenization and unified ledger. A vision is exactly that. I mean, there needs to be a path to get to that vision.
Exactly.
We equally have done projects, Project Nexus, which is 5 central banks at the moment, more are talking to us to join, of interlinking their instant payment systems on a cross-border, on a multilateral basis. We also have another project that looks purely at tokenization with central bank digital money sort of in the background and tokenized deposits. So that's Project Agora. These aren't, the vision to get to the Finternet or to that future financial market infrastructure isn't about one overtaking the other. Substitution can't happen overnight. Financial instruments are sticky, payment instruments are sticky. It takes years to move from one to the other. And so these things need to coexist. So absolutely.
Side by side.
And the key, it's the interoperability imperative that we need to be really focused on. So continue to build, if it makes sense for your jurisdiction to be, investing in faster payment systems, then absolutely. But as long as you are constantly looking at what your jurisdiction needs with an eye to what is happening elsewhere. What are your partners, your trade partners doing? What's the geopolitics? What's the, what is the global community actually talking about? And ensure that interoperability is built in by design such that, you're not left behind. Because what we don't want is for, 2 separate financial market systems to emerge where they don't talk to each other. We want to be able to, we don't want to emphasize fragmentation. We actually want to ensure that, integration and interoperability is built in by design. And that's what the Finternet really advocates. There is a journey. I can't tell you the long term is this unified ledger, tokenization, all the benefits that these things provide. And we have to always stop and ask ourselves, so what? Why are we doing this, right? So that's really important. But that's a long-term vision, and I can't tell you what, I can't put a number around what that long-term looks like. But short to medium term, there is opportunity for us to, when we look at the Finternet paper, these unified ledgers are potentially connecting together using APIs. So we're not looking at far-fetched technologies that no one can sort of invest in or people don't understand. And then it's a case of everybody understanding their role in how they could bring this forward to make that vision a reality. So that's how I would categorize the Finternet as opposed to a complete disparate thing that's sitting on the side.
Right.
By the Augustine said the word Finternet in Singapore the first time, so it's the right place he used the word. I'm sure it'll work.
I'm going to change gears here a little bit and go